live.
Yay!
Okay, before we start this live show, I want to say if I exit out of this at any time during the show, it's because my Wi-Fi sucks. So
Yeah.
just letting you know, disclaimer at the beginning. So do not worry. Do
But
not
don't
worry.
worry, I'll take over. I'll become.
Reagan is here to
I
take
will be a
over.
one-woman show. I will keep everyone entertained.
Yes, Reagan got my back.
Got
Okay,
it.
guys. So we're here today for the Carry On by Rainbow Rowell live show because this is our book of the month. Yes, Reagan, yes. You danced with that book. Yeah, so we're going to be doing the live show today where we'll be answering questions and talking about our thoughts on this book. This is our book of the month for November, and now it's December. So we'll be announcing our December book at the end of this live show, so stay tuned for that.
Should we just start off by saying our star rating and kind of our general overall thoughts of the book?
Yeah. Do you want to start?
Oh, sure, Sasha. Sure thing. So I ended up giving this book a 4.25 stars. I really liked it, but I did have, a few problems here and there. Obviously not huge ones, but I still gave it a really good rating. It read so fast. I flew through this book. There's something about it. It has a combination of Rainbow Rowell's writing that feels so homey, and the story felt so familiar, obviously because of its Harry Potter influence, that I just zoomed through it. But I will say the reason why I couldn't give it a 5 stars or ever could give it a 5 stars is because there's something about the fact that it's dependent upon another book series in existence that I can't give it a full set of stars, because the only reason why it works is because someone else already made this world almost. So that's my one thing.
Yeah. Well, I had a little different experience reading this book because I was worried I wouldn't be able to finish in time for the live show because I started on Monday. And I'm okay, it looks like a pretty large book. And it is a large book, but like Reagan said, it's very easy to read. So I read it, but I also listened to the audiobook at the same time. So, yeah. And the audiobook is actually really good. But I also found some things in the audiobook where, I feel like he was reading an earlier copy of the novel instead of this one because certain, very slightly, not big differences at all. But sometimes the audiobook narrator would say he said, but it's not actually there in the book, and it's just these little things that I noticed. It was really interesting because I never experienced that thing with an audiobook, but the audiobook was wonderful, super fast. Reagan is derived off of another book, but the thing is with me, I haven't finished the Harry Potter series, so I was a little bit worried going into
Oh no, she's frozen.
So, but all in all, it was really good. I liked it. I think 4 out of 5. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. Who was your favorite character? For me, I loved Baz.
Baz or Penelope.
So funny.
Yeah,
he was so funny.
He's still calls him Snow even though they're together. I
know. I have to say, their relationship was so cute, and I just that was probably, I loved the characters in this series, the trio of them. I really liked Snow's relationship with, I cannot remember her name, the girl character. I think they were so funny, but the other thing I really loved, Baz being who he is, obviously really sarcastic. Her relationship with Baz is also so funny because they're supposed to be from families that hate each other, but then they both love magic so much, so they geek out about really specific things too. I don't know. I thought the characters were really the best part about this book, and they were just so lovely and cute.
I know, it was so much fun to read because even though it is based off of Harry Potter, it's still very different from it in the way that the characters are portrayed, and I feel it was more lighthearted and fun to read, which is very much a Rainbow Rowell book. And I also love the aspect of the two main characters, Baz and Simon, being gay for each other. I love that. Yeah. And I love how Simon was I'm not even sure if I'm gay, and I'm Simon.
It's so fitting for Simon to not even know if he's gay or not.
I know.
He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to do magic. He doesn't understand anything. He's just there. He's I don't know if I'm gay. but I like Baz, so let's go, you know?
Like, I like kissing this boy, so why not?
Not for me.
What do you think about Agatha's character? Because like I thought that she was an interesting character, but like not that interesting. I thought that she was just there.
Yeah. No, I kind of got that too. Like she was like, that's part of, there was like some parts of this book that were like a little slow, and Agatha's parts were always like kind of, I was like, I don't care about you, Agatha.
Yeah.
Like, stop being in love with Baz and stop being drama about Simon. Like, I'm like, get out.
I know,
Leave.
she's like, I don't know, she's just like one of those characters that aren't necessarily like needed, but she's in there because it adds something, like a backstory in a way. Like, oh, also going off backstory, I know, like once I finished reading the book, I instantly talked to Reagan about it, but I mentioned to her like how like this is like a book that would have come after like 6 other books. Like it's like Harry Potter where it has like 6-book series. But we just got this one book at the end of everything, and I felt like it was really well done how she kind of integrated this world and like kind of just thrusted us into it. But in a way, I feel like I was missing out on a bunch of information still.
Yeah. Well, because like if you really think about, like, I felt like there were some like really dramatic plot points that they referenced that happened in the past that seemed really cool and like more exciting than like the overall end game plot that actually happened in Carry On. You know, like the big twist at the end wasn't very surprising to me. Or like they all these like crazy things that happened in other books. I'm like, I want to know about that. Like, tell me more.
Like the dragons and like, like the Humdrum is like, is it called the Humdrum?
The Humdrum, yeah. Like when they kept referencing getting kidnapped by the Humdrum, I'm like, I want to read that book about them getting kidnapped by the Humdrum. Like, tell me more.
I know, right? So like, and like plus the Insidious Humdrum, like I like the name, but like listening to it in audiobook form, like it was really interesting. Like it's kind of like funny almost, and then also the way that they do spells, like they're like riddles and song lyrics and all that.
It's neat. It's kind of like an interesting. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting perspective on like the magic, but it was like at the same time, while I found it interesting, it was almost a little hard to take it seriously because it's like stop in the name of love, and it's like a stop, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like so, it's clever, but it's also like so goofy that I'm like
silly.
You know what I mean? Like the spells in Harry Potter sound so much more intimidating and like lumos and like, you know, and it's like. Like I don't know, it's just kind of silly.
It was much sillier, but then again, it also like kind of went well with the whole entire plot of the book because it was silly. This book, it was funny, it was interesting, and like it was just a fun read. If I had to say one word for this book, it was fun, and I was just like, it was cool.
Yeah, and I liked it because it was interesting. It's like this book is fantasy and technically, but it's written by a contemporary author, and because of that, I feel like. An author who specializes in contemporary, not to pigeonhole anyone. So because of that, I feel like she wrote amazing character dynamics and like kind of focused on like, it was like kind of like a contemporary fantasy book. You know what I mean? Like obviously there was fantastical elements, but like it was very character focused. It was very like relationship plot driven. Like all the characters' relationships kind of drove the plot forward. And then like, I don't know. So like it was kind of a cool hybrid book. I liked it. I really love Rainbow Rowell, so like I figured I was gonna like it. But
that's the thing. I loved Fangirl. I did not love like one bit. It's one of the books that I just not like. I did not like Eleanor and Park, and I know that's.
I haven't read that actually. Yeah. I've read Attachments by her, which I thought was really cute, and Fangirl, which I thought was. I love
like Fangirl was great, and that's why I wanted to read Carry On. But like honestly, like I've always been a little hesitant ever since with reading Rainbow Rowell because like I did not like Eleanor and Park. I just didn't like it, and like everybody's loved it. I just didn't find it that gripping, and it's probably because like Reagan, you will get this. Like we're more fantasy historical readers. We don't read contemporary that often.
Yeah, it's very rare. So like. I literally have like 2, I mean, obviously I try to venture out, but like I have like 2 contemporary authors. Like there's Jenny Han, who I'll always read her books because I find them adorable. And like Rainbow Rowell's pretty up there too, if the premise sounds interesting. But like I haven't read Landline by her yet or anything. I don't know.
Yeah, like this book has changed my mind regarding her novels. Like I like loved Carry On. So like, I mean, that's great.
Like next time she releases like another young adult contemporary, I will pick it up. Do we want to answer a couple questions?
Yeah, so we have a hashtag going if you do not know already. I like changed my hairstyle 3 times so far in this video. Let's see how many times it is by the end. I just cannot agree with it. Okay, so Perustiopa.
I have it up. So the hashtag is hashtag Perustopia. So if you have any questions and you're watching, that's what it is. Someone asked, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you ship Snowbaz? I ship it pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I do. I love my gay couplings.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's just like a really good one. Like I really like it.
I know. It was really, and it's like one of those things because, like, for example, one of the things that's going around is we need diversity in books, and that isn't just color diversity, it's also diversity as in sexuality. And like sometimes it's overdone, the sexuality, like it's too forced upon you, and this one just felt natural, and I felt that was really good.
And I just really like their dynamic. Like it doesn't matter gay, straight, whatever. There's a certain dynamic in relationships that I just love to read about, and I love the people who like were kind of mortal enemies but now actually love each other, you know what I mean? So they're always kind of like, they're still like really sarcastic to each other and like poking fun, and I don't know, they carried on having that relationship throughout the book, and I just thought it was the funniest part of the series. Like I thought it was just like they were so funny together.
Yeah, and it was just great. I found a question. My phone just died because my phone likes dying on me when it's at 40%. But I really like this one. My phone hates me. Like it.
40%?
40%. No, it's actually 50%. I'm just giving it 40% since it was at 46. Not fair and not cool. But anyway, so I came across a question. I forget who said it, but it said, "Would you read the series if it was 7 books?"
I don't know now because I've technically read the 7th book if I would read 1 through 6. Because I don't really feel like this series is actually supposed to be a 7-book series. You know what I mean? It feels like it's, because it's supposed to feel like fan fiction. So it's supposed to be alluding to all this stuff in the past, but I don't really feel like it actually needs it, you know? Like maybe 1 more book, but I would rather the other book be after all of this happened. I don't know. I just don't really feel like it needs it, I guess.
Yeah, and like in a way, I felt like if it was 7-book series, and let's say that he was Agatha for like, I don't know, like 3 years, that would just be like a torturous relationship. Just
I know.
Like, oh, I wouldn't want to read it if he's that.
And I think if it was 7 books, while I'm able to deal with the allusions to Harry Potter or its dependence on Harry Potter, but I feel like if it was a whole 7-book series of fan fiction based on Harry Potter published, I think that would be like a little too much. Like I feel like it would just be like, this is just someone ripping off Harry Potter.
Like, okay. Like, I think, but it's interesting. So like, let's compare it to, this is not like straight off Harry Potter. Like,
no.
But it is related to it. So, like, let's, for example, Twilight, then 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey is based after Twilight, and then you got Carry On is based after Harry Potter. But Carry On was done so, like, I'm not trying to compare the books, but it's interesting because Carry On and 50 Shades were both based off of another series in a way. So, and I was questioning, I'm like, did Rainbow Rowell, did she, like, ask, I don't know, J.K. Rowling if it was okay, because I feel like she's like the type of person who would ask that. But then again, I think that J.K. Rowling would be happy that there's a book out there that's like kind of based off of her world.
You have to, because like technically copyright, I know you can do parodies, and technically this might be considered a parody, but like, is it though? Because it's not really critical. I don't know. I don't really know the rules on copyright because for something like this. Because it's kind of technically could be considered a derivative work, but I don't know. I just learned a lot about copyright in one of my classes.
Yeah.
So that's why I know all these terms. But like I don't know like the rules of this. I will say I haven't read 50 Shades or Twilight, but like while this technically is inspired by Harry Potter, it doesn't feel like, I know you have. So you can but like while it definitely you can tell it's inspired by Harry Potter, I feel like it still stands alone as a novel in a lot of ways. So like I feel like the overall world is supported by Harry Potter. Like without the knowledge of Harry Potter, I feel like there wouldn't be enough world building. I think people would be confused. But besides that, like I feel like the characters and the plot kind of stands apart. So I feel like it's I don't know. I feel like it's like because it stands alone, like it's a good book, you know, like it's not totally ripping off Harry Potter.
Yeah, and it, like you said it perfectly. Like, yes, the world is based after it, but not like the actual plot points. And I felt it's like Also, if you guys, I don't know who's a Draco Malfoy or Harry Potter shipper, but if you ship them, read this book. Read this book. It's literally like that.
Draco Malfoy, Harry Potter ship, because this isn't the actual story, right? So this isn't Harry Potter, like the fake Harry Potter that's released in Fangirl. This is, my dog is scratching up the door. Fan fiction based off of that. So this is like basically a Harry Malfoy ship fan fiction.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, without a doubt. I love that.
Which I think is like kind of awesome. And I think that's why so many book lovers love this, because we've all read fan fiction online. So it's kind of fun and it feels kind of familiar to just read a novel that it just feels familiar in that way. It's really interesting in that way.
So I have a question, because this book is technically fan fiction, and we can both answer it. What fan fiction have you read?
Oh my god, so like I haven't read fan fiction in a long time. And the funny thing is, I'll admit this, it's kind of embarrassing. So back when I was like in middle school, I would read so much fan fiction online, but I didn't realize it was actually fan fiction. I'm pretty sure I read like a million Twilight reimaginings that were just like, I just thought were like people writing things. And I found them on like websites, you know, like, yeah, there's like websites that just people write chapters. I literally spent a summer. I can't tell you what any of them are called. They were all super dramatic, though. I'll let you know that. I just spent like a summer just like reading these like chunks of fan fiction. Like, it was amazing. Yeah. I accidentally read one based on the characters of Fall Out Boy. I didn't realize, so I was like, I didn't realize till I was like 4 chapters in, but it was like a Fall Out Boy fan fiction. Like the character like meets, like, you know, and I was like, oh.
I was like, okay.
I'm understanding what this is about now.
Reagan, yours will never beat mine, because it's so embarrassing. My fan fiction experience, ready? It's in like 2 fan fiction mainly. I've read, based after 2 different things. So the first one was, if you guys don't remember, I had a huge obsession with Justin Bieber, like huge. Like I had a carpet cut out.
You had Bieber fever?
He's the reason that I started Instagram.
What?
Yeah. So
what?
I know. So guess what I did? I read tons of Justin Bieber fan fiction, like where he gets together with like his fans, and it's like and I decided to write one as well. So this is the premise of it. So it's actually gone right now, because the website I wrote it on decided not to be there anymore, and I was really mad. But it was called, ready, FBI Girlfriend Pops to Our Boyfriend, and it was about, I was really into Criminal Minds too. So the girl, she was like this like teenage FBI agent, and
that sounds awesome.
I know, she went to like his concert, and like all of a sudden like all the shit goes down, and she has to save him, and he's like, oh, that's hot.
Let me date you.
Let me date you. Hey.
This was when 1D was like actually a thing.
Yeah.
Like first started. I think I was in 9th grade, and I was just like kind of simmering out on this like website and stuff, but I found one on accident. And it did, like, people don't really say that it's based off of these like celebrities until you're like kind of hooked or you're kind of in. So I accidentally read a One Direction one once, but it was Niall was the main character. And like the only thing I can remember from it is the very beginning, and it's kind of amazing. Like the main character's like at the airport, like at baggage checkout, and like for some reason the 4 boys at One Direction are also at baggage checkout without like security and without people, and like Niall helps the girl like get the bag off, and he's like, there you go, love, and she's like, oh my god, it's Niall, and then they fall in love. Like, it's like,
that is actually the fan fiction that I would read, just to be like a feel-good story.
I know, like, if it wasn't Niall, it could literally be like this. This follows like a pop star falling in love with someone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so
it happens.
And like I've read actually I have read One Direction fan fictions just like randomly, because like when I was into that like, you know, Justin Bieber phase, I don't consider myself a One Direction fan. Like, I admire their work, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
And you know, my roommates are enough fans of One Direction for me to just like follow along with what they're up to. And like, so like I read some fan fiction of One Direction, but also I read fan fictions on like Hunger Games after Mockingjay, because when Mockingjay finished, like I got it like when it got released, I like went to the bookstore, I picked it up, and I read it, and I felt so sad afterwards. I just needed to know more, so I read fan fiction, and then I also read fan fiction for I read some Magnus and Alec fanfiction because I just love their relationship. And I also read Claire and Jay's fanfiction, of course, from like More Lensmans, like My One and I. And, you know, you get pulled into this world of fanfiction. It's crazy. But do you know what else I also read? I read After by Anna Todd as a fanfiction.
Oh, is that now a book?
Yeah, it's now a book. So I think I want to reread it as a book, because I wasn't the biggest fan of the fan fiction at all, because I felt like it was kind of like an abusive relationship, and I didn't like that. But my friend, she loves the series, and she says it gets better, and it gets better as in everything's explained and everything comes full circle. So I'm kind of curious on it, but I'm not so curious that I get to drop everything and pick it up right now.
I have one more embarrassing. I love this conversation we're having.
I know, it's so fun.
So, like, I was never, like, a One Direction fan or, like, a celebrity fan. Like, I didn't really, like, I've always just kind of fangirled about, like, fictional characters that don't exist. Maybe because I feel like I have less of, like, I don't know. Maybe I feel like I have more of a chance, which obviously makes no sense. But this is embarrassing. So, in middle school, I was obsessed with the anime called Naruto. Like, I loved it, okay? Like, I watched the whole thing in like 2 weeks over the summer, and then this was before the second series came out, so there wasn't anything for me to like watch, and I don't like reading manga that much, so I started reading fan fiction about the characters in Naruto.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I know it is. I had particular, because there were some characters I didn't like and I didn't care about them.
Yeah,
there were like lesser characters that I was like, I want to read about these people. So I did.
That's the best. And like, I actually read fan fiction recently because I finished Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm like,
my god, I love that. I read Avatar: The Last Airbender fan fiction.
It's great. So I read like Aang and Katara, then I read Zuko and Katara, because honestly I was a Zuko and Katara shipper.
I want that. I wanted that to happen.
I know, like I think that Aang and Toph would be good.
Yeah, so you just watched it for the first time. I watched it when it was airing. I was obsessed with Avatar, but that scene where Zuko and Katara are in that like ice thing.
Oh yeah, the Christmas cake.
He's like, are you cold? I was like,
warm her up.
I was like, hey. I was so mad. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love Aang. Like, Aang's amazing, but I was like, come on. It's
just like, what do you think about Legend of Korra?
I watched the first season and I haven't continued since. I've heard like it's like all right, so like I was like hesitant to continue because I really just want more of the original gang. Like that's just what I want.
Like look at my book, Team Avatar.
I know, it's amazing.
I drew that. I'm proud of it.
Who's your favorite character? I love Toph. Like she is the greatest.
So badass. Like girl power.
Like, I loved her. And then, obviously, oh my god, it's been so long. What's her name? Katara.
Not Suka. I call it Sokka.
Her brother.
Sokka.
He's so funny.
I love him. And, like, how he, like, that one of the last episodes, like, he climbed into Appa's mouth, and you just see in the background getting spit out, and I love that.
It's so funny. I want to rewatch it. Isn't it all on Netflix?
No, it's not on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime, but you can find it.
Oh, I have that too. I'm good.
So you're all good, girl. Like I'm obsessed. Like,
love it.
You have the comics that come after. They like have a whole entire like.
Aren't those canon too? Like I should just buy those and read them.
Yeah, no, I have one of them with me. Oh my god, it's amazing. So good, so worth it. Get it on Amazon though, because it's like $40 on at Barnes & Noble and $20 in
Amazon. Big?
What?
Large?
They're huge. They're like they're like half the size of my body. Like no joke. Like they're like 5, and they're like 4 of these books.
Okay, maybe we should get back to answering questions about
Carry on. Everybody's probably watching Avatar anyway.
Okay. Next question. Oh my god, I did notice this. Okay, so someone just tweeted me and they said, did you catch the fangirl reference at the end? Baz got a pumpkin mocha breve. I didn't notice that, but that's amazing. Did you notice that?
No, wait, that was a thing in Fangirl? I haven't read Fangirl in years.
Remember, Kat, what's that guy's name? The love interest in Fangirl always
what was the name?
Starbucks, right? So he always brought her like drinks.
Oh my God.
Remember? So that was like a cute little thing. I missed that. That's adorable.
If they said corned beef, corned beef hash, like I would have got that because that's like something that they ate, I think, in the book. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with corned beef hash. Let me tell you, if you have a Jewish deli, get the Jewish like corned beef hash. It's the shit.
Yeah, but you live in the Northeast. You have like so many amazing options to find great Jewish delis.
No, okay, they have nothing in Boston. Like, go to Chicago and they'll have tons. Like, I'm very disappointed in Boston, because I've been trying to find a great Jewish deli. You can't find any even.
I don't even have one. I have good barbecue where I live, and that is about it.
Texas.
Oh, so this is a good question too. What do you think about Simon losing his powers at the end, but keeping his tail and his wings? I think it's kind of amazing.
I mean, I think it was great because like he never was good at using them anyway, so it wasn't that much of a loss.
It never really felt like they were ever his powers. It always felt like it was like a destructive force that kind of came out of him. He never had control.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It never really seemed like it was his. So yeah. I don't know. I can't speak for him, but I almost feel like him not having powers is something that he probably would prefer. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that
like someone has to like magic up his tail so people don't see it.
I know, I love that. It's so funny. And like the thing that I found it interesting was that he lost his powers voluntarily because he was the one who gave them away. So, like, I mean, like that's a good point in it, because if it was taken from him, like that would have been like totally different situation. But since he gave them up willingly, it's like, okay. Also, do you find that I guessed very early on that Lucy and the mage like were his parents. Like, yeah. That was very obvious.
I like that storyline. I guess that Lucy... Matilda! No, ma'am! Stop that. Sorry. My dog is not supposed to be doing.
I want a dog. There's no dogs.
You can have this one. She's very...
I'll take... I have 4 dogs already. I have 3 dogs already. Let's make it 4.
Yeah, I saw that storyline coming too, but I still found it to be extremely interesting because I honestly wanted more details about how messed up the mage was in his youth.
Yeah.
Because I kind of like how it was like, I really liked that backstory, and I really liked how this Dumbledore character was actually evil and crazy and like politically, like making something out of nothing. I thought it was
yeah, I thought, and like the only reason like Simon is alive is because like he was created for the main purpose of just being the greatest mage, and then he ends up without his powers. So it's the biggest like FU to the mage ever, and I love it.
Yeah, I know, it's great. The mage was a real jerk.
I know, and like honestly, like Baz has enough power being like a vampire and a magic wielder to like for the both of them. So
I know, and I don't really feel like their society doesn't really, because like they're pretty integrated with human society, so I feel like it's not so much like Harry Potter where like it's very separate worlds.
Yeah.
So like because of that, I don't really feel like, I mean, obviously magic would be awesome, but I think Simon can function easily in their wizarding world without powers.
Exactly. Yeah, it works out. It works out for them.
Yeah. Someone asked, would you read more Rainbow Rowell fantasy books if she wrote them? I would. I like Rainbow Rowell.
They're a really good change from what we usually read, because like I know the fantasy books I read are very dark, and they're not very like lighthearted. Like maybe like I guess that why am I forgetting her name right now? Throwing a glass. Sarah J. Maas. She has great fantasy books that are dark, but they're also light at times. But like Rainbow Rowell has a really lighthearted fantasy type feel. I like it. I would.
I agree. Like, I think she has some really clever thoughts, and I think she has like a lot to say. So I feel like whatever she writes will be interesting, and the characters will be interesting. So because of that, I'll definitely pick them up and try it. So I would.
It's your dog.
1 second. I gotta go deal with this. Keep them entertained, Sasha.
I'll keep them entertained. So this book cover, I painted it on watercolor paper with watercolors. it looks nice, I think. And it took me a while. I think this one is Baz, this one's Simon. But I thought that this one was Simon, this one was Baz for the longest time because he's lighter, he's darker. You know, Baz is kind of like the darker type. Is this?
Oh, that makes sense. But wait, isn't Simon's hair always like sticking up all over the place?
Yeah, that's why I like finally came to the conclusion that that's Simon. It took me way too long to like figure that out.
I like this cover. Some people don't really like this cover, but I like it. I kind of like how it looks like it's hand done.
Yeah.
I think it's nice.
I liked it. When I first saw it, I was kind of like, okay, it's not really a fantasy cover, but then I'm like, once I read the book, I'm like, you know, it works with it. It works.
Because it really is about Simon and Baz. You know what I mean? It's, you know, so, and I like the map inside too. The map inside's really playful and cute. I like it.
I know, it's so cute, and I love it. And like, oh, can we talk about the numpties? How
yes,
not by it. I thought that was so funny.
I was like, the numpties are my favorite. Like, I'm sorry, Simon, that you got got stuck in a coffin because of the numpties, but I kind of won.
It was fun. I liked it.
They were cute.
They're cute, and then like the names of them were just adorable. But let's talk about Eb. She's kind of like the Hagrid of the group.
Oh yeah, she was interesting. I like that she was really powerful, but like wasn't interested in her. Like she didn't want it, you know? Kind of like Simon in a lot of ways.
Exactly. And like also her brother, how her brother like turned over to the dark side of vampires. Wait, what happened to her brother at the end? I feel like he just like went away.
I don't. Well, she died, so I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like,
Aww, Simon and Ben.
Oh, babe.
In a tux.
Oh my gosh, like somebody was just running on the floor below me and I felt it. What? Dorm life. Ugh. I can't wait to like have an apartment so I can have a room dedicated to just books.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice.
Not gonna lie.
I'm jealous. How many roommates do you have?
One.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I like it.
But even though I love all my roommates, like four of us are
roommates are fun.
And like they're great. Like 4 of us are going to not New Zealand. What am I talking about? We're going to Netherlands together.
Oh wait, so you're officially doing that?
I just submitted my deposit. I'm coming to Netherlands and Madrid, Spain, and Amsterdam, but that's in the Netherlands and a lot of other places.
That's so exciting. When are you going? Next semester?
Second semester 2017. So not this year, but next year spring. Yeah, and like I'm gonna be visiting like Poland, Scotland. I'm going to England for 3 weeks after my exchange is done, so I can just like live there for 3 weeks. I belong there. I don't want to be in America. I want to be in Scotland, in the Highlands with a hot
running around in your outfit and your flag.
Come on, like, I want to live that life.
You're the only person I know, and this is why you're my hero, Sasha. You're the only person I know who got a custom-made Scottish Highland outfit to wear in. You're like, I'm going to Scotland, so obviously I need to get a custom period piece made to pack with me so I can bring it and wear it. Like,
it was amazing.
I applaud you.
Thank you. It took up like half my suitcase because I had like a bum roll. I had a corset. Okay, I put in my vlog, like poor Ben had to lace up my corset. He's like, like, you're never gonna do this again, are you, Ben? And yeah, he did a good job. And then I just sit in the car in a corset, and then I had to like pose outside a castle with like people walking by. They're like, oh, that's cool. Are you from Scotland? And I'm like, no.
I just came here. I'm just a huge fan. No one's
like Outlander. Like this is where they hit Outlander. Oh,
this is what they wear in Outlander.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Charge for pictures. You should have been like, I can't do a Scottish accent, but you should have been like, I'm from Scotland.
I'm from Scotland. This is a typical period piece. I love Scotland, and I wish I lived there. America, it's the worst place ever.
That was amazing, Sasha.
Thank you.
I want you to be in my life more often, like in it, like physically, so you can just photo shoot my life. I feel like you always have like ridiculous, like my Instagram photos are like, oh, let me hold this book in front of this wall, and yours are like, all like professionally done, and I'm like, never mind.
Oh my God. No, but your Instagram looks like I'm an Instagramaholic, so like I do way too much. Yours is like, here, I'll give you a piece here and there, but you have to wait. And I'm like, oh girl, I wish I could have that restraint. And your photos are really good.
Oh, thanks.
You're
Take it with the iPhone 6, the highest quality out there. I use Instasize to make it look more hipstery, so I can get that white border.
Oh yeah.
It's all about the aesthetic, man. I gotta keep it hooked.
Gotta keep it up. Oh, didn't you went to Germany right?
I'm sorry?
You went to Germany.
Yes, I did, and it was awesome.
Yeah, the castle we're staying at for my exchange is right next to Germany.
Oh, but like north. So I was in southern Germany, but where are you? That's really cool, though.
Yeah, so like the castle is like right on the border of Germany. I think it's in central, like kind of center of Germany. So like we literally 2-mile walk and we're in Germany. And I'm a German citizen, so I'm gonna be able to get in that country like nobody's business.
That's really awesome. Well, to be fair though, I mean, before the European Union, you would have had no problem because the European Union, there are like no border, like there aren't any border stops. Like it just like you don't need you don't need a passport to go between countries. I mean, you're an American. You know, if you're a European citizen, you don't. But like, you gotta have your passport if you're American. But like, no one checks anymore because there's like, you know, the EU. But But you're still a German citizen.
That's still cool. What?
You're dual. Were you born there?
No, so my grandfather, he was persecuted in World War II because he was a German Jew. Yeah. So they granted automatic citizenship to his children and his children's children as like, hey, sorry, you had to get kicked out of your country, but that's better than going to the concentration camps, like way better. But so that's how it happened. And literally, like going back to like how you could just cross the border. When I stayed with my grandma in Poland for a month, like 3 or 4 years ago, I literally walked to Germany to go to a grocery store.
That's crazy. So like that's just like blows my brains. Like I was in Europe and it was like, oh, we're just like, I just assumed like every time you entered a new country, like people would come on and like check your papers. Now just be like, oh, by the way, we're in Austria, and we're like,
it's like, what?
Like, this isn't supposed to feel like I just went to Oklahoma. Like, there needs to be more things. Obviously, it didn't look like Oklahoma, but like, it's like, I was like, why is everyone okay with this?
I know, and it's like not Oklahoma, and like literally, you could drive like to get down to like the tip of the bottom of Illinois is 8 hours. You could drive 8 hours in like Europe, and you could be in like 3 different countries by the time you
literally. My state that I live in is the size of Western Europe.
Yeah.
Like, it takes me 4 hours to get, I live in Austin. It takes me 4 hours to drive to Dallas. And that's like from the middle of the state to not even the top of the state.
Yeah, like, it's insane. And like, when I went, like my state, Illinois, it's not even that large. It's not even like as large as like Texas. And it is almost the size of, the UK. It's insane.
Crazy bananas cuckoos. America's huge.
It's huge. Okay, what's another question?
We can sidetrack so easily.
I know. I think we should just have a live show where we just like talk.
I know. If you had to kill one character, who would you kill? Agatha. I don't care about you, Agatha. Go to California. Please.
I know, it's like, bye. Like, why are you going to California, though? You live in, like, the UK. Just, like...
No.
So jealous. People just, like... Okay, one thing that always gets me is, like, when people are like, oh, you're so lucky you live in America because I live in, like, what's it? The Philippines. And I'm like, the Philippines is so cool! And then, like...
It's just based on experiences. Like, obviously, we take for granted what we have.
It just like shocks me. It shocks me, especially when people like this is what gets to me the most because I get it. Like you live in Scotland and like you want to go somewhere else, but you live in Scotland. Like please, let me stay places
with you. People out there who are like, oh my god, you live in Boston. Like we just all have to appreciate where we live and appreciate the beauty of our own surroundings.
I mean, like my surroundings right now is a brick wall and it's beautiful because we call Diagon Alley. So.
I mean, Boston's beautiful. I love Boston. It's one of my fave places.
Boston.
My picture is frozen.
Yeah, we're so
I'm like,
good.
so contemplative. I look so upset in this frozen. I'm like looking at it. I'm like,
You're like,
eh? Should we talk about? I'm frozen, but I can still add dialogue. Should we talk about our next month's book?
yes, we should, and I'll show you guys. It's a drum roll. Okay, so the next book that we're going to be reading is shorter than Carry On, and that is Soundless by Rochelle Mead, and we're starting reading this in December.
Yay! We're having like a Rochelle Mead themed month for the month of December. So we're reading Soundless, and we're also going to be talking about her newest upcoming book coming out in April called The Glittering Court. Obviously, more info on this later. But I'm excited to pick this up because fantasy and historical influences
are around it. Oh, want me to give a quick summary?
What?
I'll give a brief summary. I've mastered the summary of this book. So this book is about a girl named Faye, and she lives in a village that's surrounded by rocky mountains, so she cannot, like, go through them. But the thing is, everybody in her village is deaf. And, yep, everybody is. She is everybody. And then, all of a sudden, people start going blind as well, and the shipments that they get sent into their village from the outside kingdom start shrinking in size. So one day she wakes up, and all of a sudden she can hear, and she uses sound as her weapon, and she, like, teams up with this one miner, and they go to see what's on the other side of the mountains, and it's, like, a shocking truth, and I'm so excited.
That sounds amazing.
Yay! I hope that was you're still frozen, and it's really funny because the face that you're making.
I know. I'm just like, I look so unhappy, but I'm just letting everyone know that I'm really excited about it. So
really,
don't worry.
We wanted to read this for a while. I know I have, because I got 2 different copies of this sent to me. One was from the publisher and one was in a subscription box. The past 2 subscription boxes I've gotten have had books in it that I already own. Yeah. So that's
I got this from my Owl Crate, and I was like, awesome.
I know. It's like, same. I got it from Owl Crate, and I was like, yes.
This book is so short, though. 250 pages.
So that's really easy. So even if you're really busy this holiday season, you can still really easily read it. And ooh. And then mark it off your TBR list on Goodreads.
Yeah, it's like a perfect last-minute cram book to, like, top out.
What's your reading challenge goal this year?
Well, I passed it. Mine was 60, and I'm at, like, 68 or something like that.
Mine is 50. I had to lower it from last year. I'm so mad at myself.
50 books? I feel like you surely have read 50 books.
I read 40. Right now I've read 46.
Oh, you'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah, I'm so mad. I don't know what. Okay, I'm gonna say it was because I was a senior in high school, applying to colleges, and then I started college, so I just couldn't read as much.
Listen, college is not consuming. I get it. I understand.
It's actually, honestly, I have so much time to read in college, and I had so much time to read second semester or senior year, so I have no good excuses here.
I know.
I film videos for you guys, like, a lot, so reading time. That's reading time.
You're just trying to keep it together. It's hard.
It's hard. It's really hard.
We're holding on, though. Okay, do you have anything else to say about Carry On or Soundless, Sasha?
Ooh. I'm really excited about Soundless, and I hope you guys enjoyed Carry On. We have been brainstorming books for the next few months, so be excited about that. And yeah, so let us know if you're going to be joining us for Rochelle Mead Month, # Rochelle Mead Month. We hope you guys enjoy Soundless, and we'll let you guys know, like, what our thoughts are on Soundless. At what page is it? Oh yeah, the Perustiopa Goodreads page that we have on Goodreads. So we'll be linking that down below if you want to go check it out. Please join. We're gonna have much more discussions that we're interacting with you guys this month because we'll have more time.
Yeah, exactly. Yay!
Yay! Okay, well, thank you guys for watching the Carry On live show. We hope you guys enjoy it. And if you haven't read Carry On yet, I mean, you should have. We totally spoiled a bunch of stuff. But read it if you want to.
It's good. I promise I'm waving right now. You can't tell, but I am.
I'll wait for her. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Reagan, for being here, even though this is your live show as well. And we'll see you guys next month for the live show, which will be on January 1st, 2016.
Yay! New year, new us.
Ooh. Okay. Bye, guys.
I don't even know why.